The centre of the clematis, where the stamens are, has a yellow colour, and obviously some of the stamens, they radiate outwards. Some of them are radiating this direction, which means they're lighter, trying to leave them out. This is lemon yellow and cerulean blue and a little bit of yellow ochre. So the top part of that is softer, the lower part a little bit darker, and to soften the top part I would just try and blur that a little bit there. There's also more contrast underneath, so there's contrast underneath here. And that also has a softer edge by blurring, so blurring that away. So hopefully making that stand out a little more, and that's the same for all of the flowers. And I painted into this one a little more and tried to leave out the stamen that are coming in this direction, coming towards me. And in the other parts of the watercolour I've just used a soft wet into wet blurred effect, and in the lower part of the watercolour I'm hoping to increase the contrast, so looking at something like that so far. So that would mean putting a darker green next to the flower. Ultramarine cadmium yellow. And then blur that away a little bit. So shadow cast by the flower, trying to give an impression of this being in front and that being behind. Fade that out a little bit. So the leaves have a sort of curved aspect. They bend or they curve, and so that means leaf, and I'm simplifying the leaves because they have got more veins and so on. This is underneath here. It's a little bit of a bumpy edge. just going to fade that out. So it's a representation of the shape of a leaf, but it's not exactly like the leaf. This one is partly wet, partly dry, so I want that to be a hard edge. And then this to fade away. So if I have more contrast in the foreground, that should bring the foreground forwards. My intention is to make a deeper shadow nearer and paler shadow further away. So all of this foreground area can be the leaf, particularly where the leaf is underneath the flower. I'm exaggerating that contrast.